As we go to a more than vote-controlled and sound-centric planet, marketers are rediscovering the capacity of audio to construct mark identities and evolve a new rock of advertisement for the flowing year. Several of our largest strong and emotional memories are caused by audio. The piece of music how was game in the bar wherever you at first laid down eyes on yours next affiliate, seagulls talk external the inn on yours at first infancy feast, or the wireless ringing how yet makes you believe of a special car representative office, although it went bosom 20 year back. But audio has historically played a second part to the visible in sale. How is change? The growing use of virtual assistants, clever speakers, sound flowing and extended fact, has driven the conception of sound brand to the foreground. It was turned on in the online advertisement office's production paper for the at first period 2 year back, and conducting has already grown up 39% to £, recent year. Time we may believe of the visible attribute related in brands, the Nika tick, the McDonald's gold arches, or Poem's poem, for sample, audio too much, has ever been an essential part of how we believe of them. The Intel clock for copy, or the sizzle of statical announcing the arrival of El scene of Play of Thrones or a classical rerun of The Sopranos on HBO. Needing to build a audio how listeners would connect in the electronic equipment gigantic, be it via its adverts or its digital communication, the crew solved to construct their own melodic tool how harnessed the at first food the Holland gigantic dashingly massive manufactured, the faithful glowing lighting lamp. The crew utilized pin microphones to seize the sounds of Philips lighting bulbs and the power fleeing via them, as humane flesh sounds, such as heartbeats and thumb snaps. The resultant sounds will now be utilized order through the mark of a communication audio logotype to food sounds and digital services. The is on more than rather than fair evolving a ringing to mark off commercials, says Massive Music founding member Hans Brauer. It's on evolving a audio how is as well identifiable while you rotate on yours Philips TV or outdoor yours Sony Care application. The capacity of sound brand put in the way our marrow processes piece of music and sounds. It activates the identical areas how are as well fueled by meal and sex. Piece of music is a excellent incentive. It activates the centers in the marrow how allow learning, thought, issue solution, RAM, and judgment manufacturing, says Dr. Daniel Mieter-Ollensiefen, Prof of Piece of Music Psychological at Goldsmiths School, College of London. Yet piece of music as well activates areas how are associated to the handling of tension, too much. Dr. Mieter-Ollensiefen says how the emotion responding to piece of music are especially essential, since we're prone to search out how piece of music once again in procedure to create anew the delight. The capacity benefits for marketers, thus, are enormous. This concept is how the favorable tension induced by piece of music get related in the mark or food, he says. Customers will accept it more than favorably and eventually changing their customer behavior and buy it more than often. If made order, it can extremely increase emotion mark house and will eventually include a favorable impact on turnover. Audio is as well of growing concern to the digital advertisement production since it has the capacity to circumvent ad blockers and seize the focus of capacity customers no question wherever they are. We're incoming and sound first planet wherever innovative love vote controlled devices are explosive, and manufacturing technique a more than essential portion of consumer daily lives, says Lauren Pegg, execution artistic CEO at Flowing Sound Business Pandora. 90 per dime of Pandora listeners are auditory on portable and some associated devices these days, says Ms. Pegg. To build a success sound sameness, the audio is necessary to include a vote section and be consecutive through devices and platforms, so how it's readily identifiable in speech, color and sentiment, says Ms. Pegg. Because business wireless stations subject all listeners to the identical adverts, flowing services can be lot more than aim, since human beings build their own made-to-order playlists how represent their personalities. Our melodic tastes speak advertisers a lot on our potential purchase manners. In more than rather than 73 millionth busy monthly average listeners, Pandora is the greatest sound flowing facility in the US. Its buy of programming advertisement plate AdsWiz over the year signaled its intention to exceed flowing rivals Spotify and iHeartRadio in receiving automatic AIM ads. Over the year, it started up a facility authorizing companies to bid for the order to supply ads about particular sound substance heard to by their goal audiences, in the entire trial creature automatic and managed by information. This sound revival tool more than podcasts, more than narrative via sound, that tool more than ads on flowing services, says MS Peg. Cornelius Ring, head execution of Deutsche Sound brand consulting Sound, says the increasing use of virtual assistants has changed the way we communicate in devices, discovery of new avenues for advertisers. We are already speaking on the web of Vote, he says. In the next, humans will more than natural and instinctively, by word and loudly communicate and talk in machines. And further changing comes of the reality how we more aware more than on consumer piece of music and audio use. His company, whose clients involve Audi, Red Ox, Chair and Lufthansa, has advanced 3D audio technique and specializes in creation sound logos for brands as external sounds for venues and those cities. The changing to the sales scenery is event so rapidly, believes Mr. Ring, how brands are in risk of lack to capture the sound wavelength. Brands are lacking a stunt if they don't include a sound sameness. If who were to ask Alexa on yours business, for sample, which would it tell? So distant, really few brands include a precise reply to how.